Hey yo, guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. Tell a friend. Alright, no, seriously though. In case you've forgotten, I am Khadijah. I am here to share with you a dose of medicine. Medicine is a sincere dose of my reality that can potentially aid in the healing of another. Now, the purpose of the podcast is to provide a window into my growth and healing journey with the hope to positively impact someone who feels like they're alone, or who feels like they're questioning their thoughts, or if they're just questioning their own path or struggling with their own path. Now, I know I've been away from the mic for a while. I apologize if y'all were missing me. Y'all should have known where to find me. But I've been learning plenty of lessons in love, huge lessons in parenting. Professional work lessons have been just crazy, out of this world, and so much more. And I'm still learning and I'm still healing. And I've got an episode for you. This episode, I like to talk about something that I'm currently going through and share some of the new things that I've learned that may benefit some of the listeners. And the topic for today is getting over a heartbreak, or getting over a breakup. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dive right in. I remember some years back, gosh, it might have been 3 or 4 years, maybe even 4 or 5 years at this point. I knew someone who was going through a breakup, and I felt really bad for her. She had been with her partner for years, and she was really struggling with just how to get past it, how to stop feeling absolutely miserable. And I remember at that time, I heard that it takes about a month for every year that you are with a person to heal and get over a breakup. And then I know I heard another equation. I think that people say it takes about half the time that you were with somebody to get over them. And then some research that I read recently, and I want y'all to remember, you can always go to the podcast blog and get links to articles that I talk about here. But some research that I read recently said that polls suggest it takes about 3.5 months to heal from a relationship, or about 1.5 years after a divorce. I'm sorry. Now, I'll be the first to tell you, none of that was my experience. All of the general wisdom is that it varies by individual and other circumstances of the connection. That's certainly the case with me. There are some people that I had quick, very intense relationships with, and it was a little bit more difficult to get over. And then there are some longer term situations where the grief didn't last as long because there was more history and there were more things that led up to the demise of the relationship. In my experience, definitely the pain and the time that it takes to stop feeling heartbroken is largely dependent on that intensity, the connection with the person, or even, like I said, the cause of the breakup. So, surprise, surprise, I'm going through a breakup right now. And that led me to the internet to dive into not only how long I'll be feeling like a zombie, I'll be feeling all of these negative feelings and emotions and just feeling heartsick, but why I felt like a zombie in the first place. And I discovered some information on the science of a breakup. And I wanted to share it, like I said, hoping that it can benefit somebody else. So here's what I gathered in a nutshell. Research from some really smart people with brain scanning, magnetic imaging devices found that the same region of our brains that's activated when we feel physical pain is also activated when we feel rejected. So first things first, if you really are like, I feel sick to my stomach, or I feel sick in my body, or I feel physical pain, that pain is legit. When we experience physical pain, our brain releases a natural chemical that helps to reduce that pain. And interestingly enough, when we are rejected, our brains release those same chemicals. So the pain is real. Some other things I read about is that love is also an addiction. And I figure many people do know this. People say it all the time. But I think it's important to cover for those who don't really know it or understand it. If you're wondering why you can't stop checking your ex's page or looking at old pictures of them, old pictures of when you were together, it's not too abnormal. It's because of science. So our brains increase a level of dopamine when we're with a person that we love and we enjoy. And we begin to associate the good feelings with that person. So when you're with a partner and you see them every day, and every day that you're around them, you're feeling great feelings, you're feeling really good. You got a song, and for years and years, that's our song, quote unquote. You associate the good feelings that happen when that song comes on with that person. So for years that could happen, or maybe even for months or weeks or whatever, your body is releasing these increased levels of dopamine, and your body associates and becomes, familiar with that feeling happening when something involving that person is around, that your body gets used to that, right? So even once you're no longer together, and maybe you want to hate their guts, maybe they did one bad thing or some bad thing, even when you're no longer together, you find yourself still going to their page or looking at old pictures. Maybe you hear that song again and you kind of start to trip out a little bit, or you smell their cologne or perfume, and you are looking for that good feeling, and you might still feel it. You're looking for that high. So it's real. That's why you're still checking that person's page even after you're done, because you want to feel that good feeling, because it's absolutely real. One study actually found that the brains of people going through heartbreak resembled the brains, like the scans, the brains of people going through heartbreak resembled the brains of people going through cocaine withdrawal. So I don't know about cocaine, but I don't know much about cocaine. I ain't never did no cocaine. But I do know that love is a hell of a drug. I've done love, and I know that it's hard to get over because of that association to that good feeling that you get with that person. The really great thing though is addictions can be quelled. You can stop. You can go through a little bit of love rehab. All right. So if you're wondering, how long am I going to feel this way? I can't tell you exactly how long. If you're wondering, is there anything I can do to stop feeling this way? Well, here's what I did find. I found one article that mentioned that a placebo effect can be used to speed along the process of getting over our heartbreak or that heart pain. There was a study out of the University of Colorado that found when people who were recently dealing with a recent breakup were given a powerful nasal spray, quote unquote, and they were told that nasal spray was going to help them settle the pain that they felt. They felt better. They reported feeling better after seeing pictures of their ex with this quote unquote powerful nasal spray that was really nothing. It was probably saline. And what's interesting is the scans of their brains also showed a different response. So again, all of this is very real. Studies, research. You're not crazy, and it might sound a little weird, but sometimes doing or believing that you're getting better, doing things that you think will make you better, will actually make you feel better. So if you think going for a walk every morning is going to be the thing that helps you, or maybe starting to go out to a party, or reading books, or I don't know, journaling is a great one, then do those things because they really might help you. And exercise is another great one. That same chemical that I said is released in your brain. There are some chemicals that are released in your brain, and when you exercise, it really does make you feel better, and it will kind of calm down some of those feelings and some of those emotions. For me, on a personal front, I'll tell you, this has been a really, really challenging breakup because there's nothing that happened that went, very wrong. There's also the challenge that she's a phenomenal person, and I acknowledge that she's a phenomenal person. And I had a great partner, and I have a lot of really, really good memories with this person. And I'm really thankful for the time that I had with her. But we acknowledged and we accepted that romantically, emotionally, there were some things that we wanted that were a little bit different. Maybe some things that I wanted that she doesn't, and some things that she wants that I don't. And that's been challenging because there's no thing that I can keep going back to make myself feel much better about the fact that, like, oh, okay, well, the grief is not being able to be covered by anger. I can't cover the grief with anger. So on a personal front, I'm really working to cope. I'm using the information that I discovered, the information that I just shared with y'all, as a reminder to be gentle with myself. That's incredibly important. My brain and my body are literally doing things that I don't even realize are happening. Chemicals and cortexes and being activated and dopamine. And yeah, I can't stop checking her social media pages. We tried to be friends. We're trying to be friends, but kind of have to take some space and separation. But I know that addictions can be broken, and I know that I'm going to get through this. And if you're questioning if you're going to get through this, if you're really struggling, I want you to know that you're going to get through this too. So as for me in my house, I ain't going to be putting nothing on my nose, but I will be journaling. I'll be reflecting. I'll probably be crying because I've cried a lot, and I'll probably continue to cry for a little while until I get better. And I'll be talking to y'all, and I'll be doing all of these positive things to continue to fall more in love with myself and to get over this heartbreak and this heartbroken feeling while I make every attempt to heal. So hopefully this is helpful to you, and hopefully we can see each other on the other side of this grief. Until next episode, peace out.